Hello and welcome to the 101 Essential Phrases tutorial video. PG Music now offers a new series of band-in-a-box add-ons called the 101 Essential Phrases and Riffs series. This includes 101 essential jazz phrases for all instruments, 101 essential riffs for bluegrass guitar, 101 riffs for blues piano, and more. These products consist of 101 short band-in-a-box song files created by top studio musicians that each contain a riff that every musician should know or learn. The riffs vary in difficulty, so there are many riffs that a beginner could start with and then gradually move to the more difficult ones from there. In this tutorial, I will show you some effective ways of learning the riffs, most notably with the use of tempo changes, and then I will show you some great ways of really delving into the phrases. This will be largely with the use of transposition, adjusting the range, as well as simply looking at the phrases in new ways. To begin, I will pick one of the easier phrases from 101 Essential Jazz Phrases for All Instruments. Essential Generic Jazz Phrase number 3 is a relatively easy major 1-2-5 lick. The first thing we should do is have a look at the phrase in notation. To do this, select Notation or Chords window from the Window menu. We can now see this phrase in standard notation. Let's give it a listen. Now, the best way to learn any music is to play it as slowly as is necessary. Let's slow this phrase down by double-clicking on the tempo. We'll set it to the snail's pace of 60 beats per minute and listen to it again. At this tempo, it is quite a bit easier to play this phrase without making any mistakes at all. The idea behind this is that you want to play it perfectly at a slow tempo, so you can then gradually increase the tempo so that you can eventually play it perfectly at the original faster tempo. With Band-in-a-Box, you can have this done automatically for you. Let's go back to the chord chart window by once again selecting Notation or Chords window from the Window menu. We'll select the first bar and then select Settings for Current Bar from the Edit menu. At this dialog box, you can choose either an absolute new tempo for this bar or a percentage change in tempo. For our purposes, the percentage change will be very useful. If we enter a 2 here, the tempo will increase by 2% every time bar 1 is played. Since bars 1 through 4 repeat themselves, the piece will gradually get faster as the piece plays. Let's give this a listen and we'll watch the tempo as the phrase repeats itself. As you can see, the tempo jumped to 62 when bar 1 was played, and then jumped to 63 when bar 1 was repeated. This would continue for the 10 repeats. If you increase the number of repeats, you can have the piece gradually return to the original faster tempo. The next way to really learn a phrase such as this is to learn it in all 12 keys. This lick is played in the key of F, but it can easily be played in the other 11 keys as well. With several of the 101 series products included are all-key versions of the phrases. Let's have a look at this phrase played in all keys. As you can see, every time the phrase is played, it is then repeated, transposed down a perfect fifth. This takes the phrase through the cycle of fifths, which includes all 12 keys. There are also other ways to take the phrase through all 12 keys. Let's go back to the single key file. Using a new feature introduced in Band-in-a-Box 2004, we can repeat this phrase, transposing it up or down one semitone each time, which would also take you through all 12 keys. First, go to the Edit menu and select Copy From To. We want to copy from bar 1. We want to copy 4 bars. We want to copy to bar 5. We want to insert bars at the destination. We want to repeat the copy 11 times so that added to the original we have a total of 12 phrases. And finally, with each copy we want to transpose down 1 semitone, so we will enter a -1 here. As you can see, we once again have all 3 registered. We are coming at you in a different order, which is another way to really get a grip on the phrase. You can really be creative with the way you transpose the phrases. Let's go back, and this time, instead of indicating how you want the piece transposed, let's let it transpose randomly each time. Great way to work on your reading skills. If you can play the lick against changes that you are not expecting, you will be better equipped to use the phrase when you are soloing over an unfamiliar tune. I will now show you how to change the range of the phrase. If, for example, you are a bass player, you may want to hear the phrase as it would sound on your own instrument. First of all, let's mute the actual bass part by right-clicking on it. Otherwise, the phrase in the lower register and the bass line will clash. Next, we'll go to Melody, Edit Melody Track, Transpose Melody Only, and we'll write -24, which means down 2 octaves. Finally, we'll change the melody patch to acoustic bass, and we'll give it a listen. For the advanced musician, there are also other ways of really exploring the possibilities of these phrases. Not only can you transpose the phrases into other keys, but sometimes you can also make other adjustments so you can use the phrases in other circumstances or over slightly different changes. For this lick, we're going to change it from a major 1-2-5 lick to a minor 1-2-5 lick. First of all, we'll change the chords accordingly. Next, we'll make a few adjustments to some of the notes. We'll change the first D to a D flat. We'll change the A flat grace note to a G. We will change all of the A's in the entire phrase to A flat. We'll change the high E in bar 3 to an E flat. We'll change the high D in bar 3 to a C. We'll change the high C in bar 4 to an F. And we'll change the low D to a D flat. Now we'll give it a listen. As you can see, the overall contour remains the same, but the phrase has taken on a completely different feel. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on the Band in a Box 101 Phrases series. Happy music making!